Good morning, everyone. We're just a couple minutes early today. I was getting everything set up for our live video this morning, and I wanted to make sure everything was working, and it is. I'm very excited. Welcome to Coffee and Crochet with Sarah. And you'll notice I have teleported you to my back deck. Can you see Pike's Peak? Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way. Can you see Pike's Peak over there? And there's a couple of deer down there in the yard. There we go. Well, what we did today is I got my green screen to work right because I wanted you all to come sit with me on my back deck and have a cup of coffee with me or whatever you're drinking today, and just sit on my back deck and talk about coffee and crochet. You'll notice as we move along, the clouds will move and the deer will probably move out of range back here. And so we'll see what happens. This morning, I was out on the back deck just checking things out, and I saw a bunch of airplanes fly by, and they said we have what's called the Red Royal airplanes at Colorado Springs. So I thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, I want to welcome all of you to my back deck, and we're out here. I teleported you to my house on my back deck so we could sit and chat about coffee and crochet. Let's go ahead and clink in. I've got all I want to do is sit and sip coffee and pet my dog. I have to tell you a funny story about this cup this morning. Every morning I make my pot of coffee pretty early, and then by the time I get my second cup to work with, because I usually have it with me whether I'm doing a video or whether I'm doing a live video, and it got a little bit cold, so I just popped it in the microwave. Well, I forgot, if you look at the top, it's got these little paw prints. Well, they're silver, and my microwave started sparking. I'm like, oops, I better move that, huh? Well, I want to say hello to everybody. I see Karen and Michelle, Sinead and Caitlin, Crystal, Darla, Tammy, Ari, Jana, Rita. Let's see, Dawn, Linda twice, clinkety clink. There's Tina. Coffee lovers, Coffee loves yarn. Absolutely, great name. Don Tennyson, Aurora, Tina, Teresa, Jana, Crystal, Karen. Wow, we got a bunch on here today. I'm so excited. Helen. Let's see, everybody's clinking in. Jackie, Tammy, Julie, Lisa, Beulah, Jerry, Paula. Wow. Kimberly, Teresa, Barbara, Jackie, Maria. Wow, that's a lot. I'm so glad. You know, I always say this, but I get so excited when I see names that show up every week because you're my faithful friends, and I appreciate that. But I also love it when I get new names that I don't recognize, because that means more people are joining in the fun. All right, now, before we get announce the winner of our crochet hooks, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. I got a couple of questions to answer. And again, if you're just popping in right now, welcome to my back deck. Pike's Peak is right over there. There's some deer over here in the backyard. I'm having trouble because I'm looking at the reverse. There we go. There's some deer moving around. You might see those. Anyway, I teleported you through the magic of a green screen to my backyard and to my back deck. And so anyway, I'm going to answer a couple of questions real quick. The first one I got was, why does my yarn have knots? And so I wanted to discuss this because it's not anything out of the ordinary. All yarn manufacturers, especially big ones like Red Heart or Lion Brand or Yarnspirations or some of these big ones, even Hobby Lobby that make their own yarns. You know, Joanne makes their own yarns as well. And so even some of them, you're going to find knots occasionally, and you might even find 2 or 3. So what happens is the way that yarn is manufactured is it's on these great big spools. I mean, enormous. And so what they do is they hook them in. It rolls, the machines roll the skeins or skeins of yarn. And then when the spool runs out, they just tie on a new piece. That knot is not intended for you to crochet over. What they do is they give you a couple of extra yards, sometimes 3 or 4. They'll roll it a couple of times and then they'll get it going again off those huge spools. And they're giving you extra yarn so that you can hook it on in your favorite way, say the Russian join or some other way that you really like to do. All right, so when you get a skein or skein of yarn that has a knot in it, don't freak out. If you get one that has several in it, you can take it back to where you purchased it from and they'll exchange it for you. You can also contact the companies, and I have done this with Red Heart and Lion Brand both, when I got one that had quite a few knots that were close together. And they'll take a picture of it, email them, and both of them sent me more of the same dye lot without having to send it in. All right, but you can also take it back to the store where you got it from, and I have never had any trouble exchanging it back to the store, and it saved me time and effort because I can just run to the store and exchange it opposed to sending an email, waiting for it to come in, you know. So that's one thing that you can do. I just want you to understand, don't freak out if you get a knot. They give you extra yarn in order to thinking French knot, in order to use like that Russian join or some other method to put that yarn back together, okay? Another thing that I got this week, it's kind of interesting. I got a couple of different ones that were similar. This one says, why does my skein of yarn have cuts in it? And sometimes you'll get a skein of yarn in or skein, however you want to pronounce it. I'm from the South, we say skein. It'll have some cuts, like you're pulling it out and it's cut, cut, cut. Well, a couple of things happen. More than likely, those cuts were not done at the manufacturer. Probably what happened is when they were being unboxed, the person unboxing them used a knife cutter, box cutter type thing with the little blade in it, and they're just cutting open the ends and pulling them out. They're not even thinking to look if they're cut. All right. It happened to me at Walmart, and so I returned it and they exchanged it for me. Things like that happen. Another way that yarn can get cut is some of these stores that have the metal baskets, like Joann's and Michael's, I think, do have the metal baskets. There are these the baskets come up like this, and then there's these little sides, and the ends of those little sides can be sharp. And I'll tell you, I cut my finger on one at Michael's one time. They were so nice about it. It was just a tiny little cut, but for some crazy reason, it wanted to bleed all over the place, and they, cleaned it up, put a Band-Aid, and filed the little thingy, but it was no big deal. But those things happen, okay? And so sometimes you'll get one, and the way they get cut like that, of course, like I said, unboxing them, putting them away, and also people looking at them and putting them back in can slide across those little metal ends. Again, if you get one that is cut like that, return it to the store you got it from. Take it back. They will exchange it. All right. And I know sometimes there's dye lot issues. And one time I took some yarn back to Walmart, and I took it back because I got the wrong dye lot. It didn't have anything to do with cutting or knots. And so not Walmart, Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry. I took it back to Hobby Lobby. And the lady, of course, she calls me the yarn lady because I'm in there all the time. So anyway, I told her, I said, I accidentally got the wrong yarn lot. Can I exchange it? So she sat there with me and we looked through all of them, and I believe it was like a cranberry red color. I can't remember what I was making. And we couldn't find the same yarn lot. So she got on the phone and she called around some other Hobby Lobbies and she got them to send it over. And then I came back the next day, I think it was 2 days later, and I got it. And so a lot of these people understand, especially people that work in the yarn departments, they understand dye lots. They understand frustration when there's a knot or a tear or a break, and they are always happy. And I always recommend that if there's an issue with yarn, take it back to the store you got it from first. That way you're not waiting. You know, these companies will be happy to send you another skein or something. But if you're just going to exchange it, it doesn't matter. You're not losing any money, okay? And so I wanted to discuss that with you. That was something that came up a lot. Actually, I got several questions about it this last week. And what's happening, you know, it's starting to cool off. And of course, here it was like 55 overnight, and it's going, the high today, I think they said 86. So it's not going to be too hot. Can you see the deer? I wanted you to see the deer over there. They're right there. There's a mama sitting down, a couple of, there's a set of twins, babies. But anyway, the next thing we're going to do is I want to tell you who is the winner of our crochet hooks. And just so that you remember what they are, let me grab them. Here are the 3 crochet hooks. See that one in the middle? It's teal. So it's looking like the background. Isn't that funny? Let me show you. All right, so you got the 3 crochet hooks, G, H, and I, plus this fun little keychain. All right, I'm going to announce the winner. Are you ready? Ba-bump chink. All right, the winner's name is Dawn Tennyson. She spells her name DAWNTENNESON. I might have spelled the last name wrong. I typed it up real quick when it came up on the random generator. All right, so everybody congratulate Dawn Tennyson. Now, Dawn, I believe I saw your name, actually, that you were watching. Yeah, she said, oh, I see comments clinking. Okay, now, do not put your email address on Facebook or on YouTube. To contact me, just send me a message on my Posh Pooch Designs Facebook page, or you can go to www.poshpoochdesigns.com, which is my webpage, and there's a little it says contact up in the one corner, and you just click that and that goes straight to my email. So either way is fine, but never ever, I'm serious people, never ever put your email address out there. Okay? Only send it in a private message or email to me. All right? And we'll get those packaged up, and I'm going to add a little special something, you know, like I always do. I like to add a little special something that I've made in that giveaway. All right? I'm going to set that down there. All right. Now, the next thing I want to show you are some new things that we did this week. And I can't show you these because look what it does with the green screen. I think it's hilarious. All right, so I'm going to click down to my other camera. There we go. This is our 9th square for our Grantastic Crochet Along. It is square number 9, and it's called the Granny Hearts. And you can see how it has small hearts in the center. There's 4 of them. And we did the video, and the crochet pattern was released yesterday. So that if you're not doing the Grantastic Crochet Along, it's never too late to get involved. The patterns will always be free. The videos will always be on my YouTube. All right, so you'll always have those. All right, now the other thing we did was another 6-inch square, and this is just our pumpkin. You can do it solid, like these are, with little pumpkins, or you can add a sweet little face. Isn't that fun? And someone said, well, what do I do with those? Oh my goodness. You can make a table runner. You can make placemats. You can use them for bunting, you know, put them on a string and hang them up. You can make a bag, a hat, a purse, anything, lapgan, a fun blanket for the back of your couch for Halloween time. You can make a bag to get goodies in. Just make sure you line it so that all your good stuff doesn't go out these holes. But there's lots of fun things that you can do with that 6-inch square. All right, the other thing that we did is, I'm going to lay this one out here also. This is our Winter's Sky hood. All right, it has 3 big fluffy pom-poms, has really cute braids, and 2 pom-poms on the end. And of course, if you're not a pom-pom person, you don't have to make pom-poms. And this is called our Winter Sky hood. And I kind of like hoods because I have a lot of jackets that don't have a hood. And it's kind of fun to be able to put that hood on and maybe just tie it around your neck and let it lay to the back. And then if it gets a little cooler, like say you're going up in the mountains or out for the day and it cools off, you can pop your hood on. And it's really, really cute. It measures and fits about 20 to 22, maybe 24 inches because the pattern is the way that it's stitched. It's very stretchy, and so it will fit a good size head. So I say youth to adult, all right? And we made those pom-poms with this gopher faux, and the yarn we used for the hood is this Premier Puzzle. All righty? All right, now I have one more yarn I want to show you, and it's got a little green in it. So we're not going to go back up there yet. This is called With Love Stripes, and I had not seen this particular color. Here it is. It's called Leisure Stripe. It's in medium number 4. It's by Red Heart. And I've got a plan for this now because now that I found it, I've got something fun that I want to do with it. All right, let me see if my other screen's going to work. There we go. All right, so we're back up here to our deck. Isn't that fun that I can teleport you to come sit with me on my back deck and watch the clouds move? The deer have already left. You can see they're not there anymore. But Pike's Peak is still there. And that's the magic of the green screen. All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun. I'm so glad that I could teleport you here. Let's do one more clink in. Clink. Alrighty, so I'm going to let you go. I don't have a really long video for you today. I hope I answered a few questions about yarn and knots and strings and things. And I understand. I get frustrated when I get yarn that has knots in it and when I get yarn that has cuts in it. And so anyway, everybody congratulate Dawn Tennyson. And Dawn, you send me a message with your email address, or your shipping address, actually. I don't need your, well, I need your email address so I can send you the tracking number. But anyway, you send that to me. Everybody congratulate her. And I've got a really fun thing for October's giveaway. And if you don't know how we do our giveaways, the first Tuesday of each month, I will tell you what the giveaway is. And then you have 2 weeks to comment. And you can comment on the Facebook video or the YouTube video. And then all the comments, the names are put into a random generator. And that takes a long time, by the way. But it's okay. I love giveaways. Okay, and so we do that, and then the random generator picks the name, and then I tell you who it is. Now, in case you're wondering, I am sitting over to the side, and that's because I want you to see Pike's Peak back there in the background, and the deer that were there earlier. They've all gone. Pike's Peak is right up there. And so, I guess I could have used this hand. I have to tell you, everything's switched, and so I'm looking at you backwards. Alrighty, well, I'm going to let you go. That's all I've got for you. And again, in case you don't know, thank you, because I can't do what I do without you. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye now.